Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Planet Einstein. I'm Jackie Schwartz, and I want you to meet Chris Harlow, who is the owner of your community pharmacy with locations in St. Matthews and in Norton Commons. And Chris is going to share an example of what his service is all about and how he conducts business. And we wanted you to know about this. So, Chris, tell us about some people and some services you've provided.
Sure. I really want to give an example of the integrative pharmacy piece because it's something that's always on someone's mind. But how does integrative pharmacy apply to me? What does that truly mean? And I really want to give you a good example of a patient that I helped that was experiencing side effects from medications that was compounded by other medications, and how I was able to help this patient. So this is a patient that comes to the pharmacy regularly. We see her all the time, and part of my independent pharmacy is developing these patient care relationships, getting to know you. And so this is a person who's on routine medications. This person has, heart disease, diabetes. So this is someone very, very typical, particularly in the state of Kentucky. We have high incidence of both diabetes and heart disease. And so this is not someone uncommon that we see. But as I mentioned with integrative pharmacy, medications deplete vital nutrients in our bodies. And a lot of people, and there's a lot of physicians not talking about this, and particularly it's nothing against the physicians. Physicians do a really good job at diagnosis, but as pharmacists, and myself in particular, I'm very trained in the area of drug nutrient depletions. So this is my specialty. So this patient came to me one day, and she could barely walk, having trouble walking. And so I asked the question, I said, "This doesn't seem like you. What's going on today?" And she was in tears. And she told me that she went to the doctor earlier in the week, and they said her disease was getting worse. Her vascular disease was so bad that she just couldn't walk hardly anymore. And it was really, really sad. And I got to talking about it and asking her, well, let's talk about, if you have a second, let's sit down and go over your medicines. So I just want to make sure we're not missing anything. And so what had happened was this patient had gone to the doctor, and her cholesterol levels were slightly elevated from where they were. So the doctor said, "I'm going to double your cholesterol medicine dose." Now this cholesterol medicine is very, very potent. And so even though the cholesterol levels were very small, the doctor wanted to increase that cholesterol, double the cholesterol medicine. And what had happened was she was actually having trouble walking, really due to the fact that the cholesterol medicine was having an impact on her leg muscles. And so when they had doubled that dose, it had actually gotten worse over that past week. Now, if you look at cholesterol medicines, particularly in that statin class, there's a vital nutrient called CoQ10. And CoQ10 is needed in every cell of the body. And it's most concentrated in the heart. But certainly if you don't have enough of that CoQ10, you can have trouble with your muscles. And so, and she had other things going on that we addressed, but the CoQ10 piece was probably the number one issue she was experiencing with her muscle pain. And so that day I started on a course of an appropriate CoQ10, because you've got to dose it right and you've got to get the right quality of supplement, because you can't just take any CoQ10 over the counter. It just won't work as well. So we got her on the right supplement, and by the end of the day, I called to follow up with her because she stands on her feet all day at work, and I was very concerned about her. So I called and followed up on her, and she was in tears and said, "I don't have the problem anymore." That moment in time, she was just that one dose already started making a difference in her life, and it was really just a matter of me addressing an issue. She came to the pharmacy. She didn't come to the pharmacy to ask me a question. She didn't come to the pharmacy because she was having an adverse effect. She didn't know she was having an adverse effect. In her mind, it was her disease was getting worse. Right. When in reality, it was just simply her medication that had caused that adverse effect. And I was able to help her using the principles of integrative pharmacy, and help alleviate that problem she was having. And so it really dramatically improved her quality of life.
And that's a perfect example of what Chris does in his everyday day at work. So give Chris a call. Come see if this is something that you want to consider. He has 2 locations in St. Matthews and in Norton Common. So your community pharmacy is all about Chris helping you. Thanks for watching our video. Stay tuned. We'll be back with another video. Bye-bye.